Queensland Premier Rugby is back for its most eagerly awaited season in history. Romanian international Luke Samoa has arrived at the nest with a host of young talent under his wing. There's potential at Chipseywood. Can they recapture the glory days of old? East have got the flair, the firepower and the ferocity. This man, Seru Uru, will haunt the dreams of club.
Aim in the backside here for the Tigers as they swing it out. Let's get a few extra metres of kills. Finds the spice out wide and it's a try time there.
Head coach Carl Marshall is back at Sylvan Road and he's the top dog at the kennel. The Doggies missed finals by just 1 point last year and they're here to play. Don't look away from this young team. They can make something from nothing.
Then one off the ruck. Carter Gordon has sniffed it. The Chiefs defender and Carter Gordon.
It's been a tough few years for the Eagles, but don't you dare tell Chapo that they're not in the fight.
Family members, here we go now. Chapman splits it wide open, goes himself and gets the try. Nick Chapman, take a bow.
It's a new season, and the men from Hugh Courtney Oval have a point to prove. With Cody Blackhurst up front, the Eagles are ready to soar.
Back at Tuapo, Tuapo goes through, Tuapo gets the try. 22 years, 22 long years. Chiefs have won the 2018 Hospital Challenge Cup.
The Gallopers have been in destructive form in recent years, and boy, do the glue factory get stuck in. Sunnybank are out to restore some pride and will be breathing fire in 2020. With Tom Lucas at the wheel, good luck keeping up once these guys get on a roll. They need no introduction. Just 5 points kept Brothers from the Cup last year and don't believe that they've put it behind them. Matho will have the Brethren firing in 2020.
Go straight through and he finds Luke. Luke gets it back infield and that's a ripper of a pass from the youngster.
The Bull Sharks are circling. There'll be no easy trips down the M1 if Dan Boardman has anything to do with it.
Side to go down this near touchline. Backs down, back infield. Dan Boardman goes through untouched. Try time. In at the death here over the Dragons. Strikes it, switch third. Burying the Dragons.
Arguably the team of the decade. This cup has spent more time at stud to heavy than any other club.
White Cairns gets smacked by Teams.
Go back infield, finds Dalglish. Cliffy Sedu.
Hino won't let these young students give it up without a fight.
Working towards the post. Tate McDermott goes straight through. McDermott swings it back to Campbell and he bellies it.
The Hospital Challenge Cup is club rugby at its best, and it starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ballymore, the home of Queensland Rugby, for the All Sports Physio 2020 Hospital Challenge Cup. It is a stunning day for rugby. I'm joined here by commentator Jay Borstorton. Jay, it's finals time.
As you said, it's an absolute pearler of a day for football, and I cannot wait.
And, mate, we look at the course of this very funny season with COVID, but you couldn't pick two better teams to be here playing for this cup.
No, both sides have obviously got to win the opposition. major semi-final a couple of weeks ago, then in round 3. But you've got the 2 best teams in the competition, hands down, playing it out for the trophy. It doesn't get any better than this.
Before we go any further, we're going to take a quick look at the journey that these 2 teams have had across the final series here at Ballymore over the past couple of weeks. Check it out.
Vest now. And Connor Vest picks up the first 5-pointer. 3 minutes to be non-stop. The Heavies looking red hot here. Gale finds Greeley, the hot stepper. Greeley gets on the outside of Kennedy. See Pills now steps up. 20 points to 6. Latoa now bouncing at the back, and Mac really says thank you very much.
Oh, that's too easy.
Smith rubbers that one through. Hayes goes after it, and it's still bobbling through. Toa puts it on the knee, picks it up, puts it down, and that's try time. Aiden Toa, just as we said, Chips, that's exactly what the Tigers needed. At the back, Nasser finds Campbell, and he's caught advantage over, so here we go. Frampton gets the hands free. Zach Brothers, I think he hasn't heard the whistle. Oh no, Nick Berry. Nick Berry saying that one's on him. They are just going inch by inch here, Chips.
Geez, they look good doing it, Jay. Well, there it is.
And there we go. Surely that has booked a spot in the grand final in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, look, it was a tough game. You know, games are tough when you let teams get it to a 14-point lead early. I think 6 minutes in, we were 14-0 down.
That's a better scrum on this near side through Nongor. The referee Broadway says use it, brings Hayes back under. Nearly makes his way to the try line, dragged down just to put us so short, and it's Ben Moen. Ben Moen. Eli Hills added the extra, so the score reads 7-0, and here comes Seruru, breaks the tackle, ball around the back, finds Matt Smith. Smith just goes digging, finds Toa, puts that one on the toe, and he shanked that massively, but it falls favourably for Shane Kennedy, and try time. Quick ball here, Pills finds Uru. Little ball back inside from Taikato Simpson. Asiata does the same, and Matt Smith goes through. Wow, yeah! Dragged down short. Goes digging, but there's try time. And it's the East Tigers getting the job done, 28 points to 3. G'day folks, and welcome to Ballymore for the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup Grand Final between the East Tigers and the University of Queensland Rugby Club. My name is Jay Staunton, and joining me in commentary today, the 100-game Brothers superstar himself, Dallin Murphy, and our resident scrum coach, Chips Blanche. Chips, how are we?
I'm good, thanks, mate.
Not scrum. What about you, Dal? How you
Terrific,
doing, mate?
Fantastic.
Now, before we get into anything else, before today's fixture, Martin Lippiatt got a chance to catch up with the respective coaches today. Let's see what they had to say.
We're here with head coach for the East Tigers, Moses Rayleigh. Moses, congratulations on making it to the final. How's the week of prep been?
The week of the prep has been excellent this week. You know, we've had 3 sessions, just the Tuesday and the Thursday, and then a little captain's run and barbecue yesterday. So the boys have really trained well. You know, really know what's expected of them, especially playing against Uni, who taught us a good lesson in the first semi.
No Jack Frampton this week. He went down with an ankle injury. How's the player adjustment been for the week?
Max Baker's come in for Jack, and Aiden Tour's moved to the front, so nothing much has changed. Max has been there before, played with us during the year, and has come off the bench and done a great job. And he came off the bench last week and did an excellent job, so hopefully he can do that again.
Mate, it's a bit of a Disney movie finish here for Ben Moen potentially today. That's got to be pretty exciting for you as a coach.
Very exciting. You know, it's not just us; it's the whole club, the club as a whole. You know, like we've so far we've won 4 from 4. You know, our seconds are doing well out there, and you know, hopefully we can finish it off. But it's going to be a tough task for both sides, the seconds and first.
Moses, thank you so much for your time, and good luck this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
We're here with University head coach Mick Keenan. Mick, congratulations on making this grand final. How's the 2 weeks of lead-in been for you?
Well, it's always a question, isn't it? Is it better to have the week off or is it better to play again? And we'll only find out at about 5 o'clock, I guess. But we've had a really good 2 weeks of preparation. The boys have worked really hard. Obviously, a lot of work on set piece. And, we probably suspected we were going to be playing East again. So we've done a lot of really good prep on East.
And, mate, there's been, most recently, TJ Siakasini not coming onto the team this week, but also we're seeing a few other player changes as well.
Yeah, obviously, Angus Scott-Young was injured at the start of that game against East in the major semi, so Fergus Lillycrap will come in to start for him. Richard Clift comes in on the bench for Fergus. And TJ, unfortunately, had a sort of minor strain in his calf during the week, and so Jasper Mellish comes onto the bench in his place.
And, mate, just finally, you've been on this merry-go-round a few times before. Is there anything different from the first time you went around all those years ago and today?
I'm probably as excited as I was back then, I reckon. Look, it's a new group of players every year, and they're excited. They want to achieve something every year, and that keeps me excited. And if I ever lose that, I tell you, I'll be coaching under 11 rugby league.
Hino, thanks so much for your time, and good luck for this afternoon.
Thanks, Lippy.
Great insight there from both Hino and Mudji, two very experienced campaigners, at least by way of coaching. Mudji in his first year, Hino in his 12th. We know the difference in how many premierships they've got. Mudji got for his first, Hino for his 6th. But that said, all the coaching is done. Now it's up to the players on the field. Let's run through the team sheet, Ricky B, and let's start with the Tigers forwards.
Yeah, so up front we have Big George Francis, Richie Asiata and Reece Van Neck. In the second row, Schneider and Sera'uru has been great since coming back from the Reds. In the back row, Michael Gunn at 7, Tom Milosevic at 6 and Ben Mowen, the captain.
An exciting halves pairing this afternoon, and Eli Pills and Aidan Toa. In the centres today, we have big Matt Smith and Landon Hayes, who are the best hole runner in the competition. And this, I think, are really, really exciting. Maxi Baker on the left wing there, Dylan Kaitato-Simpson and Shane Kennedy on the right.
Yeah, plenty of attacking weapons in that Tigers back three. Mighty Mouse himself, Max Baker. That said, he's going to have a hell of a day out against the Red Heavies. Now let's run through their team sheet, starting with their forwards, Chips.
Yeah, Hamish Richardson up front with Nasser and Tamala. If we look at the second row there, Fergus Lillycrap and Connor Vest, hard-working second row. Back row, we've got Connor Mitchell, Pat Murray and Sam Wallace.
Plenty of experience today in this halves pairing, Jordan Lanack and Scott Gale. And the find of the year for me, Big Mick Heenan, James Wood there at 12 and Con Foley at 13. And an excitement machine at the back here, Matt Greeley, Jock Campbell and Big Sammy Edwards.
3GH, the third grade hooker, getting a start in today's grand final. Coyotes back from injury. Unfortunately, not good enough to be able to get that starting jersey. I think they're just easing them in. But that said, I think the Red Heavies are going to have a hell of a crack today, and they're led out onto Ballymore. And that man right there, Jock Campbell, he is an absolute superstar, Dallin.
He certainly is. Obviously had a fantastic last couple of years with the Queensland Reds and really found his feet at the back there of that Queensland Reds backline. But today, this is his 5th year in a row coming through to this grand final. He's looking to make it 3 out of 5.
Mate, 3 out of 5. You couldn't even script that. That goes to show just how good this team is. I mean, since Hino's come over, they've made finals every year bar his first. I mean, that is an absolute feat, Ricky B.
That's incredible. I mean, it's almost ridiculous. You don't see that in this sort of competition. I mean, it's a dynasty and a half.
Well, you don't see the longevity, not just of players, but also coaches. They go on to bigger and better things. They obviously get careers themselves. But Hino, very successful outside of rugby as well. And you hear him every time he talks about coaching, he just talks about how much he loves it.
Yeah, that was probably my favourite comment in that little video before. That if you have a rugby league club that have an under 11, have we got a guy for you?
Now it's up to the East Tigers, led out ably by their inspirational skipper, Ben Mowen. And that man right there, Sera'uru, he's been absolutely massive, as you said, Chip, since coming back out of that Reds bubble.
Yeah, had a great game last week. We saw he got a nice little flick pass away. Great in the line-out, great in the air. He'll be huge for them today, not just the line-out time, but general play.
But looking really good since typically we know him as a back rower, but he has slid into second row and he's been good since coming back.
Mate, he's been exceptional. I think last year we saw him, for me, he was a bit of a surprise to be called into that red squad. But since he's been there for a year, he's physical now, he's dominant, and you can see this last 12 months he's just absolutely excelled in that. And, mate, he's an excitement machine moving forward.
Excitement machine, that is for sure, Big Seru, but it'll be referee Damon Murphy getting us underway here in the grand final of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup, and it'll be go up to the Burdick and Cane toe to put this one on the toe, and a great clearing kick there up towards and over the Heavies 10-metre line. Hell of a start, Dal.
Fantastic, mate, absolutely. Shane Kennedy really putting East on the front foot nice and early.
Yeah, and a good point as well to make there is East in that that major semi-final were really poor on the kick. So that's a great first start for them, and not the start Uni wanted there.
No, not at all. We could see Josh Nasser threw that one long, and James Wood, the man you were saying, Dal, he's been an absolute find by Hino this season. A back rower comes centre, just putting that one down. But my God, he's been good. He was great 2 weeks ago in that major.
He certainly was. Obviously, usually a number 8, but Mick was lacking a bit of depth in that back line and needed a bit of punch to the midfield. And this man really stood up and has absolutely excelled at the 12 position this year.
Well, here we go, Chips. As I said, you're our resident scrum doctor. We saw last week BCF watch Big Godjira here, George Francis, go to town. What are you picking here, mate?
Look, more of the same. SJ Tamala's no slouch, but look, they're working. There we go.
And there comes the pressure on that far side through Reese Van Neck, and there's a penalty advantage. Toa dinks that one over the top. And Jock Campbell lets that one bounce, but they had that penalty advantage. So setting the tone early, Ricky.
Yeah, look, and we couldn't really see what it was on. It was on the far side it looked like the call came from. But, yeah, we know that referees probably would have had a bit of a chat about East. You know, we saw the first scrum last week. They stepped around there a little bit, got away with it. This week, no, that's just straight going through the man. Love it.
And opting to go to the line here. We saw a couple of weeks ago in that major semi. Quite reserved, didn't come out of the blocks firing. Their tactics were more about just racking up points slowly. Clearly they've got the directive. We need to score tries because you've seen this UQ side can score from anywhere.
No, not wrong, and that is a great kick and a great platform here for East. You've got to think they're going to be bringing it down to Maul.
A very blowy wind at the back of the East Tigers. You can see assistant referee Aaron Pook's flag blowing in the wind, so advantage Tigers early on with that breeze. And it might cause some issues here with the throw, but it'll be up to Reese Van Neck. Does well to find Moen at the top of the jump. They spin around the back, and Uru gets the hands free. Finds George Francis, and it's try time. Godjira! George Francis picking up the first 5-pointer, and he is fizzing.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I mean, we do see in a lot of professional rugby programs now the first line out that they get close to the line, they will throw the little short ball to the man coming round, and that was a really nice play. You could see Uru almost had his arms free, and yeah, George Francis backing up as all good front rowers do.
And he's off the nudie run in the grand final. You can see 1 try today, 1 try for the season. Disappointing result, to be honest.
I'd love to see him down at Bottomley on a Monday.
But 3 minutes in, and the Tigers have drawn first blood, and it'll be up to the leading point scorer for season 2020, Eli Pills, shooting the lights out, 75% this season. And we're looking to add the extras just inside the 15. And taking his time is Eli Pills. Strikes that well, the wind grabs it, but it just goes up and through the right hand upright there. So 7-0 to the Tigers.
Yeah, and if we're looking here, that's really, yeah, look at Uru, just hard running line, finds the man. Great, love that.
And
great
smart play by Francis as well. Didn't actually cut in on Uru to provide support, was there looking for that offload. So very smart play from the Tigers forwards there, and Uru tries to claim that one, but it comes down for Connor Vest. The Heavies now great attacking opportunity just outside the Tigers' red zone as Morrie, their skipper, takes it up over the 22. Lillycrap. Jordan Lanack trying to push the tempo here. And the Heavies still working that far side, now coming back this way through Vest. And he's hit low there. Good shot coming on from Gunn.
Ooh,
and the Tigers are on that pill, but the Heavies do well to get that pill back now. Wood breaks that first attempt to tackle Atoa. Lanack finds Wallace. Wrong foots himself. Milosevic all over that, but penalty advantage now for Murphy, and Lanack looks to drop that one on the toe. He gets Toa straight in the breadbasket.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a role reversal from the major semi where we saw Uni got out to a really quick start, and I know East, really important for them, would have been a lot of talk about it, making sure that they're keeping their defensive line pretty solid in this early minutes, but giving away penalties, yeah, you want to cut out that habit now. So that really hurt them a lot in that major semi as well. Gave away far too many penalties.
But I think on that, their defensive line last week for East was absolutely phenomenal. They got off the line, they got into the line of Bond University and really put them under pressure.
So it'll be up to Jock Campbell. We've seen him working on his kicking this season with David Allred through the QRU and the Queensland Reds. Seen him take a few shots at goal early on in the season for the Reds themselves. Kicking at 80%. Granted 8 from 10, but still. Good strike rate here for Jock Campbell. Campbell strikes that one well and adds the first points of the day for the University of Queensland. Now, let's have a look at the 5 premierships that Mick Heenan has won over his career. 2010, 2012 against Sunnybank. 2 years later against the Bank once again. 2017. They had to wait 3 years, quite some time for the Heavies. And then 2 years later, last season, we saw them get up over the Brethren. So they're the 5 premierships, looking to go for a record 6 this weekend. Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, a few heavy hitters in there. Chibba Hansen, front and centre, of course he is.
Taking all the glory. Ooh. Big Chibba, but that is an error. Straight off the kickoff, and Mudge is not going to be happy with that one, Dow.
Absolutely not. And absolute opportunity here. Any time you get a field position or centre field scrum and that sort of field position, they'll absolutely be ready and raring to go on this.
Yeah, no, they will, and it's just about setting the platform. I mean, you heard Hino in the when Marty was talking to him. They want to make sure they've focused on getting a good platform at scrum and line out. And midfield scrum like this, you can't afford to go backwards. There, SJ Tamala just needs to be a rock there up front. Don't move.
Get it in, get it out.
Exactly.
I'd love to see them come right here with Jock Campbell and just give him a bit of an opportunity to have a crack with his winger.
Lanack, quick feed. The Heavies getting some pressure put on, but do well to get that pill out. They go down that far side. Wood. Ball free at the back. Mitchell has to go digging. Gale finds Tamala in midfield. But the penalty advantage for the Heavies now. Looking to chance their hand through Semi Edwards. Good shot coming in. Maxi Baker.
Yeah, we saw he was one of East's best in reserve grade last week and absolutely deserves the call up this week.
Yeah, with the injury during the week of Jack Frampton, they've decided to slot Toa in at 10, Taikato Simpson at fullback, and that man, Mighty Mouse himself, Maxi Baker, made himself undeniable last weekend. 2 tries in reserve grade, came on in the back end of that game last week and was really busy, and he's as tough as an old boot, so excited to see how he goes today.
I just love, he's got that obviously, that attacking flair in the middle to score tries, but you just saw right then and there, he's not the biggest guy on the field, but he's out there and he's whacking people, he's physical, he's getting the job done, he's playing well above his weight.
He's got plenty of mongrel, does Max Baker, but it'll be Wood now in midfield. The Heavies looking to set the tempo nice and early, playing quick through Wallace up towards the 5. Lanack, ugly pill, gone backwards, says referee Damon Murphy. Some pirouettes going on in the tackle there. The referee Damon Murphy again says play on. Looks like the Heavies are just short here. They have to go burrowing through here. And there we have it. Damon Murphy sees the ball on the line and says try time. And it's the jacked up Billy Zane himself, Connor Vest. Absolutely frothing. He's been so good for the heavies this year and just deserts for a big season for Connor Vest.
Yeah, that's it. And close to their best all year. Just works and works and works, and, you know, quite comfortable on the flank as well in the second row. So we know that Uni like running mobile second row, so he was the perfect recruit for them.
And early on in the season, they had no Connor Mitchell, no TJ Siakasani. James Wood was playing reserve grade, so they had no Sam Wallace, no big bodies to try and bend the line, and it was pretty much all on his shoulders. And for the first 6 or so weeks of the competition, he did it brilliantly.
He's been a find, absolutely. Obviously, playing down the Shute Shield over the last couple of years and playing a fair bit of NRC. Someone of his experience has just been absolutely invaluable for this side this year.
So the Red Heavies now wrestle back that early lead. 1 point to the advantage at the moment, with Jock Campbell given the opportunity to add the extras. Still only 10.5 minutes in. And we've seen some pretty high tempo footy from both sides, and Campbell sprays that one off to the right hand side, so score remains the same, and you can't help but think that points are going to be a primary today. But God, this was good work here from Sam Wallace.
That's it, and they're taking, you know, opportunity of, like, we didn't quite see it in that play there, but there was a little bit of a mix-up. Ball sort of got a bit loose, and UQ are smart enough, classy enough to make sure that they retain possession and come away with points.
And Taikato Simpson now with the restart. Dinks that one short. And that's claimed by Tom Milosevic, the Serbian Chuck Norris. High tempo already. Speaking of, Connor Vest manhandling Dylan Taikato Simpson. And Con Foley now with a good counter ruck. And the students come away with it. Greeley stepping into first receiver. Ugly pill claimed there by Mitchell. Wallace with another carry. Up over the half. The milkman, Hamish Richardson, with his first touch. The Tigers defence right up for it. Led ably by Michael Gunn. Foley. Nearly breaks free.
And if there's one thing we saw last weekend, which Uni aren't doing, that Bond did, they were trying to play too much behind the line and getting caught really far behind the line. Both teams' defensive lines here have been really working hard to catch them behind the line, and that's not a bad little shoe there.
Campbell puts that one on the toe. Taikato Simpson just shepherds that one into touch. Advantageous roll of the pill there for Taikato Simpson, because he had Sam Wallace breathing down his neck.
But you're 100% right, Richard. Obviously, what they're working on there is just getting over the advantage line, getting some continuity, sucking that East defensive line in, and then, as we saw there, a little bit of spacing behind, find that space, and they go again. Smart play there by University, by Jock Campbell. Well done.
Well, the up to Reese Van Neck, good throw, middle of the line out, finds Moen, and Pills just puts that one on the toe. Edwards looking to go quick, but plenty of blue and gold jerseys there.
And a great exit there by East. Obviously, you want to get that continuity. You want to get out of your end zone. Get out of there nice and quickly. So it's going to come down to a fair bit of that today.
And they didn't do that well a couple of weeks ago. You know, so it's really important that they kick well today.
Mitchell climbs high at the front. Lanack spots a gap. Closed pretty quickly there from Van Neck and Co. And SJ Tamala. Ball bobbling around at the back of the ruck there. Fergus Lillycrap having to go for a quick pick and go, setting a good platform here for the postman, Pat Morrie. Always delivers, does the UQ skipper. Gale comes off the left foot, nearly breaks that first tackle, brought down just before the Tigers 22. Wallace. Tamala. Great load shot there from Asiata. Van Neck is all over that one, and great turnover there. The front row is partnering up. Brilliant work there from Reese Van No-Neck.
And it's a big part of his game. He is great over the ball, and he always is looking for it as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of guys in there. It's not just the back row from East that are good over the ball. We know Asiata has a crack as well, and Van Neck's very good at it. And, yeah, Gorgeous George before, we see he likes to get over the ball. If they can keep that little bit of back row dominance as well as guys getting over the ball. They're going to stop Uni from getting the roll on that they like. You look at that, that's great techers there from Reese.
Doesn't have too far to go down, that's for sure. But, I mean, that was no slouch hitting him. He sustained that shot coming in from Hamish Richardson, so he's a strong body over the pill. And great defensive line out there. Connor Mitchell getting the ball back now for the Heavies, and Wood in midfield. Bumps off Aiden Toa. Michael Gunn is all over that one. Makes it difficult for Lanac, but he does well to dig that out. Nasser now. Straight through the hands of Murray. Picked up there by Gale. And Uru just gets a fingertip in there. Pill's looking to play that territory game. Dribbles that one, landing just outside the Heavies 22. And Jock Campbell sees a space, goes straight through, gets the hands free, finds SJ Tamala, who swings it straight to his opposite number in Reese Van Neck. Toa opts to put this one on the toe. Great kick there, Aiden Toa. Just sitting up now. It's got to be just enough on it. And Scott Gale, glad that one rolled into touch because the Burdick and Cane Toad was all over him.
Yeah, great shoe there from Toa, and a little bit of front rowers doing each other favours there.
We saw the experience of both fullbacks usually, but obviously we got Aiden Toa there, just summed up the situation perfectly, found the space, put his team back inside University's half. But before that, we saw, Jock Campbell is just ever impressive, finding his feet, and making some good meters up the middle.
Ugly throw there from NASA, but UQ with the side most hungry for it, and Wood goes straight through now. Looks left, looked right, brought down from behind by Uru. And the Heavies now sensing an opportunity. Campbell puts this one on the toe, and here comes Sammy Edwards. Aiden Toa does well to get down on that one there. Sam Edwards comes away with the pill. And a huge clean out there coming in from Con Foley.
Wow, he did not miss then.
He has absolutely lit up Eli Pills. He's back on his feet. But Con Foley, wow.
Absolutely minced him there.
And he is one tough man. We know that Eli Pills obviously loves the physical game, but anyone who cops that sort of a shot must be rattled.
Hit him so hard his ponytail came undone. Still looking good there though, Pillsy, but great opportunity now here for the Heavies. And that right there is grand final stuff. Con Foley, Eli Pills on that ball, hits him so hard, gets him over the try line, and now it's a Heavies opportunity 5 metres out.
Look where Con Foley comes from.
He's
22
steaming.
metres.
Steaming.
Oh, my God. Train wreck. I believe that belongs to Mr. Gilmore. Here come the Tigers, but putting some pressure on at scrum time.
I'd sub myself, I reckon.
Yeah, you would have.
I'm out. No more out.
Again, this is probably why we're up here in the commentator's box. The Tigers here, you can sense they're getting their tails up at scrum time. George Francis putting some serious pressure on S.J. Tamala on this near side. You can hear the crowd chanting BCF, BCF. And Damon Murphy again says just gone down.
No, that's a good call. You can hear the crowd's upset about that, but you could clearly see East walking off the mark there, trying to wheel it, and not very subtly.
Well, to be honest, most of the crowd's been here since 9 a.m. this morning. They're sitting in the hot sun. So they'll be lucky to be able to see straight, to be honest.
I'm sure a lot of them can't, to be honest.
But 5 premierships already this weekend for the Tigers.
Huge.
Absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. We saw them just pick up the premiership in reserve grade just before this. 3rd grade yesterday. Women's this morning. Colts 4 on Thursday night.
It's going to be a good week at Tigerland.
Oh, here we go.
That's better.
There we go.
See, that's it, boys. You don't need to step around. You can go through them.
And 20 minutes in, the Tigers have already stamped their mark on it. And they have been dominant all season. Even last weekend, we saw them against Bond absolutely go hell for leather.
Oh, here we go.
And look at that. George Francis just dishing out free chiropractic adjustments there on Zane Nongor. Godjira just going for it. And that was that right there as well was one of the turning points of last weekend's game. It was still rather close, but that there set the tone nice and early and absolutely wrestled it from Bond.
And we talk about how good a pickup Connor Vest was for UQ. You look at Gorgeous George there, I'm saying exact same vein. Huge pickup for them, losing Carter Ozane to, he's now a cop, isn't he?
I believe
Police
so,
force,
yeah. Good hands there by Uru, and Pills opts to just put this one on the toe once again. And here comes Maxi Baker. Good shot there, Maxi Baker. And Moen sniffing for a turnover there. But comes back and Wood now. Ben Moen got those long levers on the pill. Lanack now. Box kick finds Taikato Simpson, who's hit hard by Mitchell for his troubles.
You can see both teams sort of feeling each other out a little bit now after a pretty frantic start. A couple of good box kicks, try and force an error here. That's sort of what we expect with finals footy.
2 weeks ago, Jordan Lanack won that box kicking battle with Eli Pills, but it's 1-for-1 this weekend now, and Pills puts another one on the shoe. Bit more distance on this, and Campbell has time to march infield, but he's hit hard over the top there by Matt Smitten. Aiden Toa below. Ben Moen's all over that one as well. But ruck was formed.
Well and truly. No, good call there from Damon. Yeah, with two such dominant back rows and guys who are good over the ball, it is really important that Damon Murphy sets the tone at the ruck, his expectations, and I think he's done that well so far.
Well, we were picking that breakdown battle a couple of weeks ago to be massive, but UQ just set the scene so early, the tempo was up, that they didn't allow them to get into the game. Already now, UQ and East are pretty much well fared and pretty even there at the breakdown. Good throw there, Nasser. Short ball, Wood, hit hard by Smith, but keeps going. Lillycrap. Good post-contact meters there by the young second rower, Wallace. Pick and go, Morrie. Heavies picking up plenty of meters. Lillycrap. The Beaver. Mitch Snyder looked like he was on that one, but now it's time for Heavies ball. Richardson with the pick and go. The Heavies just short of the Tigers' 5 metre line. Just looking to build some phases here. Chink away at the Tigers, inch by inch.
And this is just so familiar, isn't it? I feel like this is rinse and repeat from a couple of weeks ago. They retained Pill so well.
And here we go now. Wallace brought down just short. Lanack finds Vest. And Vest is just short. Damon Murphy says play on. Lanack goes digging. And there we go, try time.
That'd have been Lanack.
From out of nowhere, Jordan Lanack, yeah, you could see him a couple times pointing to referee Damon Murphy, but finally got his hands on it and extends this UQ lead. Smart footy there from Geordie Lanack.
Well, you talked about it before, Rich. Obviously, this is what we see from the UQ team. Once they get over that advantage line, we see James Wood punching up through the middle, getting in behind them, and then it's just quick, fast ball. They're not doing anything, that outlandish. It's just nice and quick, bang, over the advantage line, recycling the pill, patient footy. And obviously, they're coming away with some points again.
Yeah, and East are probably going to be a little bit disappointed with that. I mean, that feels a little bit soft.
Absolutely.
Almost, considering what we saw from them last week in wet conditions where they shut Bond out completely, Bond didn't score a try, you sort of expect them to be a little bit harder up front.
And that's it, but UQ every year, it's not a difficult game plan. It's getting behind them, play it down in that half, and they go again.
And Jock Campbell adds the extras there and extends the lead for the Heavies. Now let's kick it down to Martin Lippiard, who's got some action down on the sideline.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. So as you can see on the cameras now, Sammy Edwards is getting the brow all fixed up. He's got to put the headgear back on. Kai Oates, who's back from injury, came up. He was about to hit the paddock, but it looks like Sammy Edwards has been put back together again. He's going to play on. Uni up 15, East 7.
Taikato Simpson, good restart there, bouncing out of the Heavies' hands and straight to the hands of Rishi Asiata. So just what Mujirao Lunu would have been wanting after the students extended that lead. But sloppy play there sees them back towards the halfway.
I think this is a really crucial part of the game for East now. I mean, Uni have been scoring a little bit too easily, and it's great that they got the turnover there off the kickoff, but we know that East are going to have to come away with some form of points here, otherwise UQ just get a bit of a roll on.
And here we go, the Burdekin cane toad, Shane Kennedy down that far touchline. Good little pill from Taikato Simpson. Ugly pill there from Toa.
Oh.
But George Francis just shrugs off Connor Vest with ease. Toa brings Van Neck underneath, breaks the tackle there of Vest. Pistons firing for the big tight head prop. And the Tigers looking good here. Maxi Baker does well to stay in. Does the diminutive winger. Uru.
Great ball.
Uru gets the hands free, finds Milosevic. Just a couple metres short. Moen. You can't do that on the ground there, Connor Mitchell. But great passage of play there from the Tigers.
Yeah, exactly right, and they responded so well. That's really, they needed to, and they turned it on then, and you know what, I think that's pretty smart by Connor Mitchell.
Yeah, absolutely. But Toa, just again, as we saw last week, flattening out when they're getting on that front football, putting his winger array down that left-hand side, and then it's just continuity. But obviously what we've seen really early on here is George Francis and Reece Van Neck really finding their feet at scrum time, but also they've been really involved in the general play. A few excellent carries from both of them. Look at that. Georgie Francis off his
great hands.
And then Reece. You don't see that very often. The big man carrying awesomely.
And then, like you say, they're always trying to get their arms free now as well. And I like that in the modern game. You know, tight five forwards are trained now to always look to get their arms free as well. It's good footy.
It is really good footy. It's great to see.
And just as Georgie Francis gets 10-2 down there, 15 points to 7, the University of Queensland, the reigning premiers, up over the minor premiers for season 2020, the East Tigers. Now, boys, this season, both sides have gone 1-1 against each other. They've got the equal number of wins all season. Literally, this comes down to not only who wins today, obviously has the most wins for the season, but comes away with the Hospital Challenge Cup. We've literally got the two best sides in the competition, hands down, battling it out today.
And it's showing. I mean, what a first 26 minutes of football we've seen so far. It's been end-to-end stuff and absolutely cracking.
But this will be a really interesting scrum here. Uni been under a lot of pressure. I'd expect East to tighten the screws again. We've already said it, but SJ Tamala, particularly at tight head, you've just got to be a rock there.
Now here comes the Tigers. Their bread and butter, the set piece. Led ably here by George Francis. And he just marches up over SJ Tamala. Moen just taking his time, looking like he was going to offload that one to Pills. But carries into contact. And what do you reckon, Ricky B? Another one?
Oh, no.
No, but seriously, a couple of weeks ago we saw they got their first scrum penalty inside the red zone of UQ. They opted to take the points. They got a second one in the second half, opted to go to the line out. their set piece wasn't on, their tempo wasn't there. They were very much off their game, and Ben Moen himself said, I think I might have got in their heads a bit trying to keep them too calm, trying to play too reserved.
No, that's true. It's a really good point. I mean, this is a great opportunity here for East to not only try and scrum for a try, a pushover, but also scrum for a sin bin.
Yeah.
If this close to the line, if they keep infringing, someone will go.
So now Pills with the feed once again. And already there's a half arm. Jordan Lanack. Good niggle there.
Smart.
You could see East trying to shift the point, like make it obvious that East wheeling illegally there. So a lot of mind games up front. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Did you get a chance to watch the Shoot Shield final yesterday, mate?
I haven't yet. I
About
haven't.
7 minutes straight of scrummaging in the wet. I'm sure you would have absolutely been frothing, Ricky B.
You'll need a couple of days to recover from that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. I need a couple of days to recover from one scrum.
That's not what I was talking about.
And again, the Tigers looking to apply the blowtorch to the student scrum. Looking good here, Bard. There we go. Gorgeous George Francis gets up over SJ Tamala. And it's Hayes coming under Aiden Toa. Now it's the Tigers' opportunity to just pick and go and chew away the metres here. Connor Mitchell's on this one. But the Tigers do well to get it back. Moen. Beaver. Toa, loopy pass, finds Shane Kennedy. And it's try time to the Burdekin Cane Toad, Shane Kennedy.
Yeah, like we spoke about it before, Dal, but Toa, great vision there at 10.
His experience this year, obviously along with Ben Moen's, but I just think it's just been outstanding. Slotting into an unfamiliar position of 10, but because he's played so much rugby, he has just absolutely excelled in that position for these Tigers this year. And again, pressure after pressure after pressure up front, scrum time, then releasing his back line. Shane Kennedy, obviously, one of the easiest tries he'll ever score.
And there was a question mark about Aiden Toa having to move into that fly half role after Frampton going off injured last weekend. But clearly, he's taken to it brilliantly. But he's played a lot of the season, even though wearing the 15 jersey, has played a lot of the season at 10. So it doesn't really disjoin them too much.
Absolutely not. He's obviously a huge factor of them on the field, but obviously off the field as well. So I think they were happy to get him back this year. Eli Pills has absolutely excelled this year, obviously, with his kicking, and we'll be adding the extras here.
You'd assume so. Been one of the best in the comp this year, Eli Pills, and it's been great seeing him really just own that position there, own that jersey at Tigerland.
So the thing is, obviously, he's got a very, very, very exceptional 9 there in reserve graded Phoenix Hunt, and he's beat Phoenix Hunt to claim that position.
And he struck that one beautifully.
He just hits him so sweet, nice and simple, keeps his head down and kicks straight through that ball. It's impressive to see.
And it's just a 1-point ball game here in Ballymore.
Here it was, Aiden Toa. Nice and simple, summed it up beautifully. Floats it over the top, and Shane Kennedy.
On the chest as well, love that.
A couple of beers for him tonight.
Champagne rugby there from Aiden Toa. And speak of the devil, puts that one on the toe. Not so champagne rugby with that kick there. Didn't get the purchase he would have liked.
Well, that's one thing I think East will be talking about at halftime is restarts. You know, we saw the early one went over the dead ball line. That kick's not good enough. You can't give Uni easy pill in your own half.
But Uru does well to get his hands into that one and knocked on in the line out, says referee Damon Murphy. So good defensive pressure coming in from the Tigers there. One of the best lineouts, defensive lineouts in the competition.
And it's a big part of the game plan. It's not necessarily even about, stealing the ball at the line out. It's putting pressure on it so you might force an error, which means if there's a little knock on, we go back to scrum. It's a really good formula for them where it's just, dominate at set piece and bring the game into set piece. So, great defensive pressure.
But that's exactly right. Obviously, there's that added pressure of a grand final. And so if you can keep competing and applying pressure at every kind of opportunity, you know, you're halfway there.
And slow going here, but the Tigers now.
Love that.
There we go, penalty advantage. Pills opts to use this one. Toa out the back, finds Kennedy. Breaks the tackle of Foley. Smith. Good shot coming over the top, Gale. And Pills trying to be a little bit cute there. But had that penalty advantage still. And Chips, they are ripping in at the set piece.
100%. And the really good thing about that was they're just so patient there. They just waited till they were stable and set, and then the call came through and they just went. This is great. They're just completely dominant there.
And 33 minutes in, penalty count already 7-3 in favour of the Tigers. So really starting to apply the blowtorch there at the scrum.
What are you doing there, Chips, if you're UQ? Like, what's it come down to? How are you kind of negating this?
Firstly, your tight head's got to be rock solid. I mean, whether it's the flanker or the second row, they've got to be making sure that Tamala's getting enough weight through. And look, I don't encourage any young flankers to be doing this, but if your tight head's in trouble like that, you've got to try and slide up and start to do whatever you can to get some weight onto the opposition prop.
Well, that master of the dark arts. Greasy stuff there at scrum time coming from our scrum doctor, Chips Blanche. And Uru now looks to go for the basketball pass. Backwards off the heavy's hands. So Pills now wrapped up in that tackle. Toa having to go into half-back. Asiata bumps off Wallace. Good second effort on the ground there from the Tigers hooker. And Murray looking to make a nuisance of himself at the breakdown. There's the penalty advantage. Toa puts that one on the toe. Really claims the crumbs there, but still had that penalty advantage and surely points.
Well, you'd think so, yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, I know there's still 5 minutes to go, and it's got to be close to a card at scrum time.
Very true.
And this is what they're thinking about, obviously, but there we go.
Ooh, there we go. This is the difference from 2 weeks ago,
Yep.
Chips. We saw them. They started the game very malign, got blown off the park early, weren't able to get the tempo up, and just their tactics by way of just chipping away at it, not being ruthless, not doing what got them into the grand final in the first place, clearly really shook them up. So you can see Ben Moen now. He can taste. He can taste that cheese.
That's it. And the
can smell it.
It's smart. I mean, it's not just that they've been dominant. It's that they haven't. A lot of the time when you can get really dominant at scrum time, you can ball fumbles at the back or little things like that. You let it out too early. They've been smart in their dominance.
Great scrum coming in there from the heavies, and Toa finds Baker. Burrows underneath. Jock Campbell, great work there from Max Baker to claim that one, but good covering tackle there from Edwards.
And also great scrum from UQ. Needed to front up there, they did. And we know UQ have got a really good defensive line. Great scramble there.
Now they've got to win this line out.
Oh dear.
Hills looks to claim that one at the back. Wallace off his hands. Toa, loopy pass, and here we go. Carbon copy.
Oh.
Toa finds the Burdekin cane toad, and he's picked up a brace, big Shane Kennedy.
Well, you're right, Dal. Milky Bars will be on him tonight.
I think he'll be buying Aiden Toa a few beers himself.
yeah.
But impressive stuff.
And yeah, we go back to the defensive pressure at the line out. And like you've been saying, Toa's got class there at 10. He found the ball in his hands, found his winger, and yeah, it is a simple formula for us. Just dominate the set piece and you'll get a lot of the pill.
And that's exactly right. They've come down, I think, almost every time they've entered this red zone here. They've come away with points, and that's what you want to see.
And something they didn't do 2 weeks ago. So certainly on song here are the Tigers. And that hill is absolutely heaving. As we said, they had what was it, 8 or 9 teams in grand finals this weekend. They've already picked up 5 premierships, looking to go for their 6th as a club.
It's actually a little bit upsetting.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
That sort of dominance. But you'd love to be a fly on the wall in the clubhouse for the next few days if they can come away with it today.
Yeah, the clubhouse kick-ons will be absolutely legendary, but there's still plenty of footy to be played here. And Pills now looking to add the extras. Drags this one off to the left, so it still remains a 4-point ball game with just a couple minutes to go in the first half of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup.
Just that pressure at line-out time at 8. Toa picks it up. Finds that man again, Shane Kennedy. Nice and simple.
2 from 2. Shane Kennedy has just borne fruit out of Aiden Toa's silky skills. And Uru claims that one well. Toa hammers this one long. Straight down the breadbasket. Jock Campbell looks to sing it and get it into their hands. The Queensland Under-20s Player of the Year, Mac Greeley. Very quiet early on in this first half.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, we haven't really had a chance to say his name, and I hope he's got to find a way to get him more involved into the game.
Yeah, only 1 touch thus far for the youngster, but good, strong carry there. Connor Mitchell. Yeah. And there it is, Tom Milosevic. Doing what Tom Milosevic does. Over the pill, getting that turnover. And speaking of that back row dominance we saw last weekend, Tom Milosevic, Ben Moen and Michael Garner absolutely going hell for leather on both sides of the ball.
Well, it's quite an impressive back row, isn't it? I mean, the experience that these guys have amongst all 3 of them, they've really stood up this year and found a fair bit of balance in this east side.
Yeah, and that Tom Milosevic, he is so disruptive. Doesn't always get the pill at the breakdown, but you know what? It takes more than a couple of blokes to clean him out half the time.
That's exactly right. He's a pest.
Well, there we are right here. Just already 3 breakdown penalties last weekend. And here's another one for Tom Milosevic. Both he and Ben Moen were in the top 3 for turnovers this season in the Queensland Premier Rugby competition. No mean feat considering their actual open side flanker is Michael Gunn.
Yeah.
So
it's not bad, is it?
Not bad at all. Moen off the top. And speak of the devil, Michael Gunn with the carry. Pills dinking this one over the top, sees some space, and it's Toa herring after that one, and Matt Greeley opts to just put that one down. And Damon Murphy blows half-time here at Ballymore in the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. And it's the Tigers 19, University of Queensland 15, as we see one of the East Tigers, don't know who it is, being escorted from the field.
I think it's Matty Brandon.
Oh, it's a bit tall.
No,
there we go.
Matt Brandon's. Is that Tyrell Barker? No, Matt Brandon pinged his hemi last week in that prelim final against the Doggies in 3rd grade. So, still sent me a photo this morning from his bed with his premiership medal. So, but here we go.
Oh,
absolutely fantastic football all round here. And we've got the Tigers up by 4 points over the University of Queensland, and this has been a massive game of football thus far. Very much back and forth, but you'd have to say, Dallin, that the Tigers have got the ascendancy. Now let's kick it down to Marty on the sideline, who's got Scotty Gale.
Thanks, Scotty. Just quickly, mate, it's been a really hard first half. How's it been playing into the wind?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. As you said, that wind's pretty strong. We've had a few opportunities down this end of the field, and we've come away with points for the majority of them. So if we can keep doing that, keep getting good field position, we're confident we can score some points.
Scotty, thanks heaps for your time, mate. Back to halftime.
Yes, thanks very much, Marty, and a very special thank you to Scotty Gale for joining us at halftime. Great to hear his thoughts on how the students are going. But whilst we've got you for a little bit, let's kick back and have a quick look at some of the highlights from what has been a fantastic season 2020 of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup. Missy.
Keep going slacking off with the momentum.
Skelton. Doggy. Try time. Nick Doggy. Here we go. Kennedy is hit hard by Iwani and is picked up by Sargent. Valalo back. 5-pointer. James whips that one out, finds Saifaloy. Brings Perez back under. Perez is in open field. Tarabay finds Crichton. Honey Crichton picks himself up a second try today. Mowen.
What a take.
Good throw there, but great defensive work coming in, Ben Mowen. That defensive line-out work from the Tigers is absolutely immense, Chips.
Yeah, Ben Mowen, even when he was playing for Australia, he was great in the air, and all season for East, he's been incredibly dominant on defensive line-outs.
Yeah, big Ben Mowen has been dominant all season. And speaking of dominant, Sid's coming back. Seru setting up this first try. And Chips, big Godzilla picking up the first 5-pointer.
Doesn't it make you happy? Getting off the donut as well this season. Go, George.
And then this first try here for the students. Just pick and go. And again, carbon copy pretty much. We saw Jordan Lanack just getting in down.
Absolutely. Just burrows his way over, gets on that white line, comes over the point. But for me, Aiden Toa in this first half, finding this man here, Shane Kennedy, on 2 occasions, floating the ball over the top.
And a little bit fortuitous here, but he's all class. He knows where the space is. Just great footy there from East, particularly at the back end.
Absolutely beautiful football there from Aiden Toa. And he has been red hot for the Tigers thus far in the first half, and it's only a 4-point ball game here at Ballymore in favour of the Tigers. But there's been plenty of action, that is for sure. Now we can see here 3 tries to 2. Veslanak picking it up for the students. Kennedy picking up a brace and big gorgeous George. But then the difference being just Campbell. His kicking boots haven't really been on. I mean, he's only missed the 1 kick, but still was very shaky with that missed kick, wasn't he, Chips? He's still sort of learning the craft.
Yeah, that's it. And also Eli Pills was uncharacteristic in missing one as well. But you know, what really surprised me at the back end of that half as well, I'll get back to that later. If we look here, possession really at the back end of that half came East's way. Yeah,
60% possession, obviously maintaining a lot of the pill in that first half. But for mine, the errors have been so low today, which we didn't see over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, last weekend we saw quite a few errors just due to the fact, but both sides playing very good football, but the penalties, a lot of them coming at scrum time, but 9-3 against the students. That is glaring.
And that's the most telling, I think, statistic of all. And obviously with the scrum being so dominant at the moment, they're jumping on that and getting some really good front foot ball and playing down inside University's half.
And that's, that ties into the point I was going to make before, is that I was a little bit surprised at the last play of that half that East dinked it in over the top. Whereas if they just held on to Pill there, you kind of back yourself to get into and maybe get another penalty for offside or breakdown or something, and then they can turn the screws on again, because it almost is a little bit of a reset now with the scrum penalties.
And here are some of the East highlights from that first half. Reece Van Neck over that Pill, nice and strong. And then Big Gojira we saw snifting Connor Vest. Reece Van Neck getting up over that ad line, but it's been that scrum dominance.
And it's that one there where it's just so comfortable that they just wait. They just wait till the ball's near the back, and then, okay, now we go. That's just complete control at set piece.
And just being so composed is a massive part of that set piece, isn't it, Chips? Being able to just know that you can back yourself in and know that give it time, you can actually start to get some ascendancy.
That's it, and that's going to take a toll on Uni as well, and that their tight five in particular and back row can't switch off at all at scrum time. They've seen that, they've got to be on the whole game. The flankers can't break a little bit earlier because they're constantly, the scrum's going backwards, so might play a bit of a part later in the game.
Richie Asiata, very big inclusion for the Tigers this season. Meant to be going over the Toronto Arrows. Over in Major League Rugby, but due to COVID coming back, so absolutely massive for the Tigers, as was Jock Campbell coming back for the Students out of that Reds bubble. The best player in the competition for the better part of 3 or 4 years before making his Reds debut last season, Dallin, but he is special, isn't he?
He certainly is, and he's just so unassuming. You see, as you saw earlier in this game, when he made that line break, he's just kind of gliding through holes. People don't expect him to do what he does. He's one of the most powerful, by weight in the competition from that Super Rugby perspective, but he's just obviously developed very, very well over the last couple of years.
And that's it. He's a great story of the pathways. The pathway's working.
And Damon Murphy gets us underway in the second half of the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup Grand Final, and Taikato Simpson drills that one into the heavies 22. It'll be up to Jock Campbell to punt that one into touch. Didn't get as much distance as he would have liked, so good net gain here for the Tigers.
Yeah, and you think just turn the screws on here. I'd be bringing it down, maul, phase after phase, and then just back yourself to get a penalty so you can bring it into scrum time, baby.
Yeah, 5 from 6 at line-out time today for the Tigers. So only one little blip on the radar, make that 2.
Put the mocker on him, Joe.
Big time, yeah. Looks like that one was just lofted up a little bit, Chips, and caught the wind, so.
And also, you're looking right into the sun there this time of day, so that's a tough one for a hooker day.
But that right there is a massive win for the Tigers. Uni saying, let's go for the line-out.
No real surprise, given everything that's happened, but
that right there, come next scrum, the Tigers are going to use that and feed off that, you'd have to say. But saying a lot as well, putting a lot on the shoulders there of Josh Nasser, the young hooker, but he's done well there to find Wallace at the back. Plenty of bodies there, but Lanac goes digging, puts this one on the toe. Well-placed box kick there. Edwards bouncing into the back of Pills.
you can see UQ here. I think they're really starting to lift a bit. Their intensity, they know they need to be the next to score, and you can see they're really trying to force a penalty as well, get Damon to award a penalty because they know they need a little bit of front foot ball right into the park.
Good box kick there. Max Baker putting plenty of pressure on Scott Gale. But a smart box kick there from Eli Pills. Even though they're running into the sun, they have got the breeze going against them, so they can utilise his box kick to make them contestable.
And that's it. As we said before, as long as they can keep competing, I mean, whether it's a line-out or a box kick, every time those type of things happen, you know, there's that opportunity for a mistake from the other side.
That's it. A lot of box kicking in this game, which you know, teams don't typically do is we see the little knock on there from UQ, but we don't see a lot of box kicking in Brisbane Club Rugby, but finals footy, they know it's about forcing errors.
And both nines have actually executed it very, very well today.
Yeah, two of the form nines in the competition, Jordan Lanack and Eli Pills. It'll be the latter with the feed. And Van Neck putting some pressure here on Hamish Richardson. There's that penalty advantage. Moen feeds Pills. Ball out the back, Maxi Baker. Loopy Pill Toa finds no one.
Oh dear.
But still had that penalty advantage. Sam Wallace just throwing a bit of niggle there on Landon Hayes. Come on, boys, just make out already, would ya? I'll get pretty close, man.
Later. Nah, but I don't mind that from Wallace. You know, you've got to
Spark the boys up.
Yeah, exactly. Give them a bit of, show a bit more tick, a bit more fight, and
plenty of advantage here. I'll let you know. There's your mark. Stay square, push to the mark. Stay down.
And that's really smart from Moen there.
Scrum.
Just getting in the air of game and asking the question. If he asks the question, he's got to answer with something.
Because also there's a tendency, you know, when you've had half time, that you can almost forget a little bit about the run of penalties in the first half. That's just a little reminder that, hey, you probably should go to the pocket. So.
Here's your mark.
Bit of niggle. Love that.
Yes.
Sam Wallace absolutely championing the bit. Playing not too much footy this year, being in that Reds bubble. But another one who looks all the better for having been in that bubble this season. So now BCF watch. See if there's any folding camp chairs here. The Tigers doing everything in their power to do so.
There it is.
And there it is, Pills. Pills goes straight through. Pills in open field. Looks inside. Goes left, goes right. Eli Pills up over. And that's try time, is it? Yeah, it is. Eli Pills. With an absolute special. Right in front of the Tiger Army. Eli Pills. With an absolute perler.
Yeah, and that was pretty special. And that's part of what plays into it scrum time. When you see the flankers have got to stay on because they're going backwards. There's space thin around their down.
Absolutely. But this man, Eli Pills, obviously one of the best number 9s in the competition. But this right here throws the dummy. And here, he's back three, inside, outside. Poor old Sammy Edwards didn't know where he was. And even that finish does absolutely fantastically well to get that ball down. Wow.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from Eli Pills. Throws a dummy to no one.
Who was that on his right side?
Landon Hayes.
Landon Hayes screaming for it.
He would be spewing. Now it's that man right there looking to add the extras.
And he does.
Does so with ease. And speaking of, he was awarded as the highest point scorer in season 2020 of the Queensland Premier Rugby competition. And there's no reason why he can't go past anyone else. He's been absolutely fantastic. And he's going to shoot the lights out, you'd have to think.
He's playing with such confidence.
Eli
looks
Pills
really comfortable
looking
out
to
there.
add the first points. Geez, he's been sensational this season, has Eli Pills. And Con Foley getting some running repairs.
I wouldn't be surprised if he needed that after that clean out from the first half.
Now let's kick it down to Marty on the sideline.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Just as the kickoff gets going, it looks like SJ Tamala's left the field from all the adverse scrum pressure. Alex Saga on the field. Score, East 26, University 15.
Thanks for that, Marty. So, yeah, big Substitution there, Chips. We've already seen the heavy scrum go backwards. So Alex Unger now thrown into the deep end. And already before scrum time happens, he's got the ascendancy there on Big George Francis.
No, but I do like that from Francis. We saw last week he went after Big Zane Nonga, and he's just seen Saga come to the field and go, you're mine too.
And Campbell. Good defensive read there. Toa. Vest. Finds Unger, and again George Francis. Going toe-to-toe. Wood. Good strong carry there from Wood. Might have lost this ball in contact. And he has. Pills opting for the box kick. Doesn't get much territory on it, but still a big pressure reliever nonetheless, Ricky B.
Yeah, really, and East a little bit lucky there. That's the one thing in this game they haven't done well is restarts. They've given UQ a lot of easy peel-off restarts in their own half, and that's the one thing they can improve on.
Vest. At the front of this rolling maul, looks very shaky.
Advantage, 6 collapsing.
But Milosevic called for collapsing.
Your advantage, 6 collapsing. 6 collapsing. 6 collapsing.
I tell you, Uni really needed that.
Yeah, there was plenty of pressure coming on from that defensive maul from the Tigers.
Yeah, East looked really comfortable there defending that maul.
They certainly do.
I think Uni have probably got to be a bit more patient, drop the height a bit, and if they're going to be mauling, which I don't think is a bad tactic, they need to just hold on to the pill here and have time with ball in hand, because it's just been all East.
They certainly do. Just be patient, build phases, get around the corner, and then get over that line.
Boys, numbers, drop blue.
Nasser, tough throw, looking directly into the sun, does well to find Mitchell at the front.
Advantage.
Penalty advantage, taking the jumper. So another opportunity for the students to throw everything at the Tigers.
Time. Yeah, it's 2 now, line out, please. I need you to stay nice and disciplined for me. Otherwise, someone go to the bin. It's a dangerous place. It's got the penalty, mate.
You'd almost be thinking Ben Mowen might be saying, how many scrum penalties have they had on a row?
Yeah, I'd
2 line-outs, already read the riot act.
But it's probably the right time not to have that chat after you've just given away 2 penalties. I think that close to the line, don't get the referee offside right now.
Time on.
See Brad Twydale warming up on the bench.
Yeah.
Not a bad sub to have, is it, Dal?
Stay marked there.
Interested to see whether he comes on at 10
Yep.
or maybe at 13.
Good defensive pressure, Mowen. And the penalty comes the other way. Knocked on Nasser, picked up by one of the troops in front of him.
Prime example there, Dick, that we just talked about, that pressure, you know what I mean, and that competition. Obviously Benny Mowen this year has been exceptional at defensive line-out, but it's just again today where they're putting that pressure on, they're forcing a mistake, and they're out of their end zone.
Exactly, and Uni be really disappointed with that. I mean, you can't. There's got to be a little bit more subtle. I know you're close to the line, but Ben Mowen is so good getting up there that you can't just run a simple front ball. There's got to be a little bit of deception in what you do.
Yeah, good defensive pressure there coming in by Mowen. Now, Shane Kennedy's kick didn't find touch, and the students able to march into the Tigers' half now. Richardson.
Yep. Advantage, 1 blue offside.
George Francis called offside there. Mowen finds Lanack. Morrie.
Yeah.
And scrappy stuff at the back there from the heavies. Really crap going into half-back. Great ball there. From Alex Unger. Finds Vest, who's just put that pill down, but they still had that penalty advantage from George Francis offside.
1 blue offside. 1 blue offside.
You could see East there, the defensive line has been like majority of the game when Uni have got in close to the 22. They've almost had it a little bit too easy getting over the line there. It's good from East that they're fronting up a bit better indeed there, Dal.
Absolutely. I think we see Jordan Lanack coming off the field. Scotty Gale goes into 9, and Brad Twydale slots into that 10 position. Great ball there
from Alex Sanger. Now let's kick it down to Martin Lippiett on the sideline.
Yeah, Mick Heenan, he's starting to show a bit of experience. Jordan the Knack off the field. Now Brad Twydale jumping to 10. Scotty Gale, the season campaigner, into 9. And Will Roach comes onto the field for Fergus Lillicrap to jumble up the back row as well. Conversion penalty attempt to come.
Yes, thanks very much, Marty. That kid right there on screen, Will Roach, he's been an absolute standout this season for the Heavies in a very dominant back row. He's been the unassuming star, but geez, he's an absolute star of the future.
No, that's it. He's all class, and I think that's a great substitution because he is so good over the ball. They will lose a little bit of line-out time. I'm not sure who's going to push into the second row then with Fergus Lillicrap coming on. But you do lose a little bit of line-out time, but you get a lot at the breakdown.
Can only assume Connor Mitchell maybe slides back into the second row to partner up Connor Vest, but in the meantime, it'll be Campbell looking at the extras, and he does so. Sees the score now, making it just an 8-point ball game, still in favour of the Tigers, but the students coming out nice and early in this second half and really starting to apply a little bit of pressure to the Tigers. Maybe this heat's getting to them, Chips. You never know. It is very hot out there today.
That's it, and East are a big pack. You know, if you run them around, you will get a bit of pay out of it.
Ooh. And too much pepper on the eggs there from Dylan Taikato Simpson.
That's 2 we've seen today from him. We talk about that before, Richard. You know what I mean? Every time they get the opportunity to exit, they haven't exited well, and then on 2 occasions now, they're just allowing University back into this game.
Yeah, and Uni are a class team. I mean, you expect them to make them pay from this. And Uni very quickly said, well, no, it's a line-out ref.
Lines the mark, Blue.
Yeah, clearly showing their hand here are the students. 8 from 11, so not bad, but still a bit shaky with their line-out as well. So a lot of pressure there on NASA. Good throw, but just Connor Vest is able to get his fingertips to that. And a ton of pressure coming down on Gale. Sanger now. Good run there from the replacement prop.
No, Red dragged him back in, no.
Yeah, a little bit of greasy work there from Connor Mitchell, dragging the Beaver back in a bit. Campbell finds NASA. Looks to get the offload away, decides against it. Good short ball there. Vest finds Roach.
Fine. Canrock's fine.
Twydale. Wrapped up there by Richie Asiata. Gale puts that one on his trusty left boot. And Max Baker now punts that downfield. Jock Campbell's foot was just on the 22, but opts to keep that one in play. And Pills now brings rain with this one. Gale looking for someone. He finds Sam Edwards on the outside, looks to get around. Tom Milosevic goes back inside, brought down by the last of the Mohicans, Ben Moen. Greeley hit hard over the top by Smith. Both sides certainly flying into contact here. And Taikato Simpson just letting this one run, egging it on, egging it on, egging it on. And that's gone dead. Heart in your throat stuff there for Dylan Taikato Simpson. And Scott Gale standing on the mark saying, referee right here, sir.
Carrying like that, I was kind of hoping it did hold up. Just to see what he'd do when he had to pick it up and go.
Just here. One more thing.
But that right there could be a massive game changer. I mean, that's the sort of thing where you could go from pitting them in their own 22 to now a scrum to the Tigers just outside your red zone.
Yeah, last thing they want. And Uni don't really seem like themselves at the moment. I think a better East defensive line, hitting them like before the gain line is playing its part there, but Uni seem a little bit panicked to me.
That right there, that scrum stat, 7 for 7 from East, UQ 1 from 2. That's not so much about the fact that they're, East are retaining possession. Well, it's more so that they're actually opting against having those scrums.
And it's often in parts of the field where you usually do want the scrum.
Midfield off a kickoff,
exactly.
Deep inside the 5 metre line. So that's definitely getting in the heads there of the students. And as you said, Chips, they sort of just seem to be off their kilter a little bit.
I think also they've had limited opportunity, since those first 15 minutes when they were quite dominant. They've had limited opportunity. There's been a real set-piece dominance from East. And so now, maybe they're starting to feel a little bit of pressure. They're chasing the scoreboard. They're 8 points down. Pressure starts to have a certain effect on teams.
Can't be standing up, okay? It's dangerous. All right, let me control that for you. You're standing down for a free kick. There's your mark.
Maxi Baker, late inclusion in this side this week in place of Jack Frampton. Handled himself ably today, so high tempo.
He looks really comfortable at this level.
Former halfback out of Villanova. Transition to winger fullback, and here we go now. Tigers, penalty advantage once again. And Toa drags this one back across field. Here we go, Mighty Mouse looking to go in the corner off the shins there of Tom Milosevic. That could have been something special.
Needed a bounce.
Oh, what a great shoe from Toa.
Off his right boot too. You've got to remember he's a lefty.
Captain, tight end.
Here it is. I feel like this chat probably should have been had a long time ago, but well done to Uni for postponing until now.
That's now a number of penalties against him in the scrum. Okay, I need you guys to sort it out, otherwise someone's going to go to the bin. Yeah. Okay. So just quickly, what exactly you want? It's a number of penalties, all sorts of infringements, mate. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and go through them all. Nothing specific, or it's a whole range of penalties.
The specifics of it are: don't get smashed. We saw Jordan Way last week when they said, "Can you give us a warning, sir?" He said, "It's Premier Grade prelim final. Don't get a warning. I don't need to warn you before I give you a half arm or a full arm."
But this is an interesting call here. I mean, do they go the scrum or they go the line here? Scrum.
What do you reckon?
Well, mate, you put that in the corner there.
Yeah, but you scrum it for 10 metres.
Yeah, I know.
Look at this, off the right shoe as well. Max Baker got the bounce.
Great cover to tackle by Scotty Gale.
I mean, how far out are they now here? I mean, God, you've got to be tempted to go for the corner there and think you can maul it over.
All right, 22 metres out.
You want to see the backs touch the ball?
I do. I doubt they will, but I do.
Straight down.
Straight down on that far side, says referee Damon Murphy. Geez, you could just feel the Tigers are really feeling right up for this one. So Hamish Richardson off the park now. Can't help but think that Isaac Kailea, the youngster, former Aussie under-20s, schoolboys star out of Victoria, is out there. You can see him here at this Loosehead side.
Yeah, and two very young front rows for both teams here. Might not seem like it with East, given how dominant they are, but very young front rowers out here.
Richie Asiata, the eldest of the lot, at 23 years of age. So just goes to show. Some of the youngsters on show here, and speak of it. There's that penalty advantage again. Toa. Ooh, you see Hayes just belted after the fact.
And I think we'll see a card here.
There we go.
So
and the Tiger Army is letting Alex Sangano.
But if you're SJ Tamala and you've got to come back on now, you've had ice on your neck. You're not looking forward to coming back onto this.
Absolutely not. But in my opinion, I think that could be a massive turning point in this game. Obviously, East so far up, 26 points to 18 with 20 minutes to go. A man in the bin for 10 minutes.
Reese Van Neck just geeing the crowd up. Hell of a crowd out here. The Tiger Army is in full voice.
And look, Ben Moen there.
And
good time to have a chat.
SJ Tamala having to come back onto the pitch. Yeah, you could see it there, just turning in.
Yeah, and they did do better in that scrum. It was only at the last minute that they weren't staying straight, and you saw Damon put his arm out. Yeah, it does. Look, this doesn't get any easier for you, Q.
Not at all.
Gorgeous George can go all day.
Yeah, just getting confirmation from the assistant referees.
They've dropped the winger, have they? Smart.
Well, there we go. The Brains Trust, Eli Pills and Aiden Toa devising a little plan here. Look at that for a shot. Jock Campbell right in front of a heaving Tiger Army. And the territory here in favour of the Tigers, 54%. And here they go, just marching. Pills goes down that near touch side. Finds Max Baker on all fours. Gets up towards the 5 metre line. Gun. Vest is on that one. George Francis, flat-footed.
He did not want the ball there. He just wants a breather.
No, you've still got advantage.
Slow going here. Asiata now. Asiata takes 3 blokes to bring him down. Milosevic. Fortuitous bounce there for Milosevic.
No advantage. Back here. Scrum.
And again, another scrum penalty in favour of the Tigers.
And you saw George Francis there. He didn't move too far. Knew exactly what they were coming back to.
Red not pushing straight.
Big fella's looking tired. Don't blame him. Hell of a shift.
Yeah, you can see here on that far side, George Francis just absolutely mincing SJ Tamala. Now let's go down to Martin Lippitt on the sideline. Marty.
Thanks, Jay. East are definitely twisting the screws in right now. SJ Tamala having to come back on to supplement the yellow card. They drop Sam Edwards because they're already getting smashed in the scrums and they need to keep 8 men on the field. Uni up against it inside their own 22.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Uni getting smashed in the scrum.
And look, I think they've gone the line out this time just because the guys need a breather up front. It's a lot of work.
And good lift there. Holding Moen up just to try to eke a penalty out, and they've done just that.
Leave now, Red, leave!
Pills looks blind, finds his skipper. The Beaver off the back. Pills absolutely belted by Wallace, and here goes Reese Van Neck. Picked up and driven backwards there. Will Roach all over that one. Has the young flanker got the turnover? He has, but still the penalty advantage.
6 red early.
Connor Mitchell there just taking the jumper out. And this is what happens sometimes, Chips. Once you start to give away one penalty, you try to correct it, you go too far, and you start to actually build up on top of each other, and you can get away from you a little bit.
That's it. It's just set-piece pressure is just so hard to get away from when it's this dominant. You just can't escape it. The other team will just keep bringing it back in tight, force a penalty, and then you're on again. There's just no relief coming for Uni from this.
today, Aiden Toa's been absolutely red hot. But this here, Reese Van Neck, looked like he was going to get over there, but Connor Vest showing some serious strength to hold him out. And there we have it right there. Just the scrum stats, 10 from 10 for the Tigers and only 1 from 2 for the Heavies.
Complete and utter dominance.
Yeah, and this is the only thing there. You saw Reese, looking tired, getting off the ground there. You're packing so many scrums, you are exhausted. And I'm sure his shoulder and neck are hurting there. But I also think the big fella might need a breather.
Well, there's not much neck to hurt. So you can't help but think if he goes down with a sore neck, it must be pretty bloody sore.
And look at that shot. Tigerland.
Oh, mate. They are fizzing.
They smell blood.
This will be their 6th premiership for the weekend. First time in a long time they've claimed the Dowdy Shield. Claimed it with the Brethren. But not bad to get a joint club championship for a club that only a couple of years ago didn't have too many teams playing finals footy.
That's certainly right. And so far this weekend they've gone 5 from 5 in grand finals. Obviously going for their 6th here today, which is absolutely incredible. It's one thing getting the grand finals, but it's another thing winning them.
That's it.
So now for the umpteenth time today, the Tigers with the loose head and feed. Plenty of territory in their possession. 58% plays 42. Straight down on this near side here. Landon Hayes, he's been good today. He's a very underrated player in this back line for the Tigers. Obviously they've got, the Towers, the Kennedys, the Taikato Simpsons, but very underrated line runner, as you said in the pre-game there, Ben.
And it's not just, it's the line running off the ball when he doesn't have the ball as well. Like a lot of the time people when they're hitting Kennedy out wide is because Hayes is always a threat, always attracting a defender.
If this ball does come out of the scrum, I reckon we'll see Aiden Toa have a crack here himself.
That's if it comes out.
Oh,
doesn't look like it. Here
way.
comes Ben Moen
All
at the back
way.
of the scrum, turning the screws, and penalty try! And the crowd is going off here at Ballymore, and bum taps all round for the Piggies. Well deserved. They have just applied the blowtorch all game, and it's taken 70-odd minutes, but they've finally done it. They've cracked them chips, and that is just desserts for a massive effort from the Pigs.
Yeah, exactly right. And I reckon Francis or Van Neck might be looking at the sideline going, I need a breather, guys.
I've earned this.
Yeah.
But look at this here. Gojira just getting up and underneath there of Eshay Tamala, and just absolutely folding him like a deck chair. And Damon Murphy had no other choice but to blow penalty try.
No, exactly right. And there we go. Big gorgeous George. What a shift. What a couple of weeks from him.
He's been impressive.
And UQ taking this one quickly, knowing that it's going to be tough to wrestle back this 15-point lead. With just 11 minutes to go in the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup Grand Final. Fielded well there by Campbell. Nearly sneaks through the oncoming Tigers D, Kailea. Strong run there from the young crop. Wallace off the back now. Goes straight through. Vest. Backs into contact. Breaks a couple tackles. Wallace. Campbell dancing on the outside. Great load chop coming in there. Youngster, Zach Crothers. Will Roach. Dragged down by Pills. The heavies looking good here. Wallace. Hands free. Foley.
Ooh, great
Another
shot.
good load shot there, Asiata. Ben Mowen's on that. Ben Mowen's all over that. And he's got it. The last of the Mohicans claims another scalp. Ben Mowen in his final game ever for the Tigers. Massive turnover there from the inspirational skipper.
But some really good, fast-paced, quality football there from the UQ rugby side. Just quick at the breakdown, getting the ball in and out and going on with it.
And massive work there from Ben Mowen. Inspirational stuff there from their skipper. And Matt Smith had a quiet game for his standards. But he's been an absolute workhorse this season for the Tigers since coming over from the Doggies. Look at that, just isolated there, Pat Murray. And Ben Mowen, as he's done all season, hard on the pill.
No, and UQ are looking pretty comfortable there, and then everyone in that back row for East is so good at just waiting for the right opportune moment. What a kick there from Pills.
Oh,
God, he's been good.
That is sublime skills there from Pills.
Sensational today.
Had it on a dime, and no, we probably haven't spoken enough about it, how smart the game plan from East was, particularly just going back to box kicks. You know, making sure that, you know, guys like Jock Campbell aren't getting clean pill at the back or any space. Matt Greeley, how good has he been all year? He's just unsighted today.
Seen him once.
Mitchell at the back of the line out. The heavies looking to work their way out of their own 22. Bounce pass finds Greeley. Shakes the tackle of Toa. Good shot put on there on Roach.
It's offside too.
Inside ball, Foley. The heavies understanding they're going to have to score some points here, holding on to this pill.
Oh.
And great shot coming in from Aiden Toa.
Don't see Aiden do all that very often.
Really looking to get himself injected into this game. Maybe a little too late.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Just the ball bobbles straight into the midst there of Eli Pills.
Tamala's gone for the Hail Mary.
No,
just
look over the shoulder.
Chuck it in the air.
But we saw, Jabor, as you said, these wingers now hunting. They're coming in off their wings, trying to look for the pill, and it might be just a little bit too late.
Now as we see Ben Mowen here getting tended to, we'll have a quick look back at 2013.
Dream come true. It's really sinking in at the moment. You know, I don't really know. I don't have words for it. It's still, I'm like a small kid, and I just no words. Reflection of the season that I've been through. You know, come a long way. Started in Colts. You know, the boys down there. We tried to do it, but couldn't get the job done. But thankfully, we got it done up here. But it's good.
Yes, we saw a fresh-faced 18-year-old Michael Gunn, Tony Shaw medalist from the 2013 Grand Final. They got up over the Gallopers, 27 points to 22. Some big names in that side, guys like Matt Brandon, Andrew Reddy, Chucky Mullins. That was a red-hot side. Toby White, mate, that was a side that could play some brilliant footy. Oh, they are in full voice, the Tiger Army. One of the loosest supporter networks in Queensland rugby, if not Australian rugby. They are maniacs. That third half down there at Tigerland on the sort of between the 22 and the 10.
The worst.
Oh my God.
The worst place. It in the glue factory.
Crazy.
It in the glue factory, just horrible places to be.
They're ruthless. Aiden Toa.
Look at that.
Yeah, good shot coming in there from Aiden Toa. But now, back into the action. You can see the Heavies understanding they're going to have to just score some points. So they're looking to run their way out of their own half. Edwards. There we go. The Tigers all over that one. And it's Zach Crothers, the youngster, the replacement hooker.
Great over the pill there.
He's a good young footballer, is Zach Crothers. A lot to like. Not a big man, but absolutely sensational.
Made his Queensland Premier Rugby debut last season as a 17-year-old.
I was just going to say a few parallels there with Michael Gunn we saw before.
Now let's kick it down to Marty Lippiett on the sideline.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Changes are plenty happening across here. Reece Jacks has hit the wicket. Taikato Simpson's game is over. A wonderful session for him. And Uni finally back to a full contingent with the yellow card hitting the field. And also we're seeing Coyotes jump on for James Wood. It looks like he's got a bit of a cork in the right leg. Score, East 38, Uni 18.
Yes, thanks very much, Marty. As he said, there's been a few substitutions coming in there. A big one, Coyotes. Someone I would have thought they'd get on nice and early because we saw him at the back end of the season. It was fantastic.
But, you know, James Wood, there's a guy who, in a team that's been dominated a lot of today, James Wood has been one of their best. Very strong in contact. I don't think he got hit behind the game line once.
Certainly did. Carried extremely well for him today.
The Tiger Army in full force, looking to pass on some good vibes to Eli Pills. Strikes it sweetly. Has it got the legs? No, it doesn't. Drops just short. So now it's Jock Campbell. Finds Gale. Vest looking left, looks right, takes contact and is picked up and dumped. The Tigers defence ready and raring. Plenty of line speed coming up. And held up here. Ball comes back now for the students. Wallace caught in a very awkward position there.
Now, it's one thing that East didn't really do a couple of weeks ago, which they've done really well today, is one, hit Uni behind the game line, but also just the breakdown. Make it that little bit messy that UQ aren't getting clean ball.
Roach, great low chop coming in. Milosevic. Again, another one from Crothers. As you said, Chips, really putting some pressure on the Heavies behind the ad line. Good run there, Oates. Another great low shot coming in from Tom Milosevic, but the penalty advantage now goes to the Heavies.
Time off.
Mac really.
He's feisty. He's feisty.
No, just making sure the referee understands how serious it was.
So,
just making sure the referee understands how serious the offence was there.
That's exactly right. Love's getting involved. He's probably very frustrated today. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity with the ball at hand.
And Eli Pill's shown some cheese for the back end of this grand final.
No, out, no.
Nasser. Still 15-point advantage for the Tigers.
Backwards. Advantage.
But there's a knock-on in contact. The advantage going the way of the Tigers.
Knock on my red. Scrum. Blue ball.
And you know what? I don't think Eli Peels will mind gets setting off there.
I'm sure he's going to go to the
He gets a
the
team
bench
before
and
everyone else.
crack a beer. Give the man a beer.
Let's go, boys. Time's still on.
So you can see here, it was lost backwards there from Pat Murray. And then great pressure coming in from Uru. Today, 2 weeks ago, they played their worst game of the season. Today, almost their best. They have just been absolutely just pushing the envelope, setting the tone here today, and the Tigers have been sublime, Chips.
But there's also the improvement. Like early in the game, Uni were getting a roll on a bit too easily. They scored pretty comfortably going through the middle, and East have just sorted that out. They've become pests behind the line. They're just constantly hands on the ball, slowing it down, and it's the real improvement just in this game alone has been great from them.
And that's exactly right. That's how UQ obviously run their game. They need that quick ball. They need that up-tempo play to really get in behind teams. And East have just been absolutely phenomenal.
Time on.
So still plenty of footy to be played. Here at Ballymore, but can't help but think the Hospital Challenge Cup will be heading back to Tigerland, barring a miracle from the Red Heavies. If anyone can do it, it's Mick Heenan and the boys from Star to Heavy. Jacks with the feed. And another penalty advantage at scrum time goes to the Tigers. And Kennedy with the torpedo. Absolutely zings that one straight down the throat of Greeley, but still that penalty advantage.
Push it straight.
The penalties, well and truly, to East Tigers. That was meant to be 18-9 in favour of the Tigers. I mean, double the amount of penalties, at least half of those at scrum time. It's always going to be an uphill battle when you've got pretty much zero ascendancy at scrum time.
That's so wrong. Because it just started going erratic, I don't know. I'm a timekeeper. I'll tell you it's wrong, though. Part two.
So there was a bit of a discrepancy.
Sorry, Ben, there is 2.5.
With the clock, David Murphy. The clock at the ground said 7 minutes, then flicked to 3.5 minutes. So
right.
Bit of a discrepancy there on the clock up there, but it's good now.
Sorry,
You can hear the crowd chanting Beaver. Mitch Snyder at the front of the line out here, and it goes to the Beaver.
Probably should have known it was going to him.
Yeah, that wasn't a chant, that was the call. And the Tigers just looking to wind down the clock. Taking their time, Toa at the back. Thinks he sees a bit of space there. But Connor Mitchell shuts that down and gets a great turnover. Twydale, hands free. Here come the students. Edwards, Campbell, but plenty of Tigers. Covering hard indeed. Low pass fielded well by Twydale. And the Tigers are swarming on the Heavies. Van Neck looking to jam in there and put a shot on.
Knock on by Blue.
But knock on advantage here for the Heavies. Kailea looking to get the offload.
Scrum red ball.
So 30 seconds to go here at Ballymore.
And I think it's fitting we almost finish on a scrum after today.
And the crowd is losing it for that man right there. One of the best this season for the Tigers. Absolutely brilliant today. The man known as Chodo Baggins, Reese Van Neck. He is one thick mama. And there he is, shaking the hand of his front row partner, George Francis. They've been absolutely sensational today.
Tell me this East supporters aren't going to string the field.
COVID safe, mate. They've got to remain COVID safe.
I don't think there'll be anything COVID safe about what happens after this game.
Well, penalty there for the Heavies as you hear the hooter go in the background. And the Tiger Army is absolutely going off. Scotty Gale opts to go quick with that one. Good kick there, about 15 odd minutes out. That light box was pretty shaky there for a moment. They better hurry up and wrap this game up before the Tiger Army absolutely burn the place down. They are going off already. Ugly throw there, fielded there by the Serbian Chuck Norris. And Ben Moen says, let's settle it down. And it's the Burdekin Cane Toad. Hammers that one into touch. And the East Tigers are the Queensland Premier Rugby Hospital Challenge Cup winners for 2020, the first time since 2013. The Hospital Challenge Cup is going out to Tigerland. And they've been the best team all season. It was theirs to lose. And they've come away with the buttered confection. Massive weekend for the Tigers. 6 premierships, but they've come away with the top one. And the Tiger Army are loving it. Absolute scenes here at Ballymore. The first time in 7 years. The first time in 7 years. And just saying, 6 premierships, baby.
That's it. I don't know who that is from East there, but he's just making sure that everyone stays on the right side of the fence there.
And a massive victory here for the Tigers, losing a couple of weeks ago in that major semi-final, having to go the long way round, dicing Bond last weekend, and this weekend a 15-point victory for the Tigers over the reigning premiers, looking to go back-to-back, the first team to do so since the 2003 Canberra Vikings, unable to do so. Mick Heenan in the process, unable to pick up his 6th premiership, but a hell of a season nonetheless from the students. And these boys right here, the Pigs, it's been all them today. That man, Gorgeous George, Godjitta, and the Serbian Chuck Norris. They've been absolutely immense for the Tigers here today.
No, and you're right, Joe. Well, that forward dominance was telling. Really, particularly the back end of that first half and the second half, they just slowed the game down into their pace and just dominated up front.
And that man wearing the number 10 jersey, Aidan Toa, has been absolutely massive for them all season, coming back to his junior club after spending last season at the Brethren. And now, donning the 10 jersey today, but geez, Alou, he was fantastic. And that man right there, Mudge, first premiership, first season there at Tigerland. Now, let's kick it down to Martin Lippian, who's got the skipper of UQ Rugby Club, Pat Murray.
We're here with Pat Murray, captain for the University of Queensland. Pat, just wasn't your day.
Yeah, mate. Credit to East. Like, we just fell into their game plan. Like, you can't win a grand final. Just that piece isn't right. And Des was unbelievable today. That scrum really got us in the end. Chewed up game time, gave them penalties, gave them tries. Yeah, I guess got a lot of. We're going to look back on this one and be really disappointed about it.
Mate, it was a game very different to the one from 2 weeks ago. They often talk about having the 2 weeks off can be a good thing or a bad thing. How was the spirit coming into the game today?
Mate, it was really good. Like I said, we took those 2 weeks and we worked our ass off in our set piece, but it just didn't really pay off today. And then like once he's got on top of us, they're really hard to chase down. And a few penalties down there at the end of the game just really got us.
And when you look at the season, you've had some amazing players, Gracie, Connor Vest, just to name one. Jordy the Knack had a good year as well. There's a lot of good things happening next year, your year.
Yeah. Mate, it's going to be a huge learning experience for a lot of the younger fellas and the guys coming into the team. It's bloody hard to win a grand final, but it's very easy to lose one, and that showed today. So it'll be a big lesson for the boys heading into next year. And, but I feel we'll be a comeback bigger and stronger, so, mate, anything can happen.
Pat Murray, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for the season, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Cheers, sir.
Yeah, great stuff there. Very wise words from Pat Morris. Says very hard to win a grand final, but very easy to lose one, and we've seen that. You know, you don't win premierships unless you play close to a perfect game, and you'd have to say East did that today. They came out, they set the tone, they won the set piece, they dominated where they needed to dominate, and as Pat Morris said, you're not going to win a final if you don't have any ascendancy at the set piece, no matter how much you may work on it.
No, exactly right. And was
Ladies and gentlemen, for our 2020 Premier Grade Grand Final presentations, we have two of the greatest makers to have raced on the boot for both Queensland and the Wallabies to present the Tony Shaw medal, the man himself, Mr. Tony Shaw, and to present the All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup, Mr. Jeff Miller.
So the referees receiving their grand final medals, Damon Murphy, Jordan Way and Aaron Hook. Refereed a great game today, you've got to say.
No, definitely did. I thought he was great, particularly at the breakdown.
Congratulations, Reese Van Ness, the 2020 Tony Shaw medalist for the grand final man of the match. You could have given it to anyone in that East front row, but great game from Reese.
I'd just like to thank all the boys on the hill for the outstanding job they've done each week, coming in, supporting us right through the season. Secondly, to the youth group, and I want to see you guys at the back. You know, you guys have been there with us the entire way through. There's been plenty of moments through the year where it could have gone either way. To our boys, man, how good. Especially Georgie Francis, just, man, DJ Khaled. Just also Benny on such a good career. He's been a mentor to a lot of us young guys this year, and you know, he's really stepped up and showed us what it's like to be a true Tiger. So, thanks, Benny.
Put your hands together for the UQ's performance today. Well done. Pat, could you come up, skipper of University of Queensland, to say a few words?
I'd just like to give a quick thanks to the QRU for helping us get the season up and running. It's been a bloody strange year, but it was great to play some footy, even if it was in November. So thanks to everyone coming out. Grand final day is an unreal day. And to East, Benny and East, like, you guys really dominated the comp with your set piece, and it really showed today. To Benny, congratulations on your career, mate. It's been unreal to watch you. And to the rest of the boys, we know you guys got a big week ahead of you. You guys deserve it, so enjoy. To our boys, we learned a pretty brutal lesson today, but I'm sure it's a big learning experience for a lot of guys, and we're going to come back bigger and better next year, boys. So tune up, let's enjoy the next few days, and thank you everyone. Cheers.
Gives me great pleasure to call up Ben Mowen to accept the Hospitals Cup on behalf of the winners today.
Firstly, thanks very much to Pat and Mick today. Certainly throughout the season, it's been East and Uni neck and neck throughout the year, and the fact that we had two teams in the final that have beaten each other once. It's going to come down to today, and we saw a really hard-fought even match. So congratulations to you guys. We know that you're a young side and you're building, so we don't want to let you in the door too much next year, but we know you'll be there and thereabouts, as Uni always is. So congratulations to you guys. To East, to our sponsors, Cromwell, Green Beacon and Mullins Lawyers, been outstanding support for our team for a long time now. There's a huge amount of support at our club. We were very fortunate to have 6 teams in the grand final this year, and we won 6 from 6, and so I think that's pretty reflective of the spirit at our club. So we want to keep that going year on year now. We want to keep building. So to our guys, outstanding commitment throughout the year. It's obviously been an interrupted year and a challenging one for everyone. We've stuck through it. We've got a great reward today, so we know we'll enjoy that later on. If I can selfishly just thank my family for their support, particularly my wife Lauren. She made me promise 9 times at lunch today to be my last game. I said under my breath for 2021, so we'll see you in 2022. But thanks very much, and thanks for everyone. What a great product we have at Queensland Rugby and Premier Grade Rugby. We've got to keep this going, so let's keep getting behind Premier Grade Rugby.
Put it back on the stand, and we'll chat to him just there. That way it's not in it.
Well, there we have it, folks. Your 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup winners, the East Tigers, and they played a stellar game. Started off with an absolute pearler of a try off the back of the line out to Godjura himself, George Francis. But then it was the students to strike back, Dallin.
Yeah, they certainly did. It was kind of tit for tat here. A few close-up tries by UQ, but from that point on, it was all dominant in East.
Yeah, Jordan Lanack picking up the second of the UQ tries, but then in the throes of half-time, only minutes apart, we saw almost a carbon copy of our first try here from Toa. Loopy Pill over the top, bang on the chest to the Burdick and Kane toe. He was good today, Chips.
Absolutely, both of them were great, and Toa just had the ball on a dime, kicked really well. He and Eli Pills definitely won the kicking battle. This is such a good try.
That is that's an instant classic there from Pilsy. And then our Tony Shaw medalist, Reece Van Neck, ably supported by George Francis and Richie Asiata, among many others in the Tigers forward pack, picking up a penalty try. Now let's go down to the victorious skipper, Ben Moen.
Thanks, Jay. We're down here with the victorious captain at the end of what can only be described as it's like a Disney movie, Benny. How good?
Oh, yeah, look, I feel extremely lucky to finish this way. It's been an outstanding year for the whole club, the whole competition, really challenging. So for East as a club to have 6 sides in the final and grab 6 premierships over the last couple of days, we couldn't ask for a better end to the season.
Mate, obviously this is it. The boots are finally being hung. Do you think you could have asked for a better scenario?
No, definitely not. And, it wasn't a one-sided affair at all in the final. It was, last 15 minutes, I still had my heart in my throat trying to see if we're going to survive it and hold on. So you've got to give a lot of credit to Uni today. That they've been outstanding all season, super consistent year in, year out. And so that's a credit to Pat and Mick and the team that they put together. But really proud of our guys getting the job done today.
And we talk about being lucky. So few places all over the world are actually able to play rugby at the moment, yet we're here doing this today. That's a really massive achievement.
Oh, huge. Very fortunate to live in Australia and then Queensland and have the freedoms that we do. And to get a season like we've had with crowds and supporters and the community engagement's been outstanding.
Well, Ben Moen, I'm not going to keep you any longer. You have got probably some of the best celebrating you're going to do in a very long time. Congratulations, and we hope to see you around the traps.
Thanks very much, guys, and thanks to you guys. You're doing a great job covering our footy, and Premier Grade just keeps going strength to strength, and it's guys like you supporting it, so thanks very much.
Thanks very much for the kind words there, Ben Moen. Yes, this season is done and dusted, and it has been an absolute privilege to bring it all to you at home. Very special thank you to the Double Take Sports production team for bringing it into your living room every weekend. My name is Jay Bohr-Staunton, Chips Blanche, Dallin Murphy. Thank you very much for joining us, not just today, but for the whole season.
No, thanks for having us, Jay Bohr.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. It's been a cracker.
It's been an absolute perler. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in. It's been our privilege to bring this to you every weekend, and one last chance, we're going to leave you with all the highlights from the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup Grand Final. We'll leave it to the victors, the East Tigers, to celebrate away. Thank you.